Well, thank you all so very much for being here today. This is a wonderful afternoon, and we're pleased to be a part of it. I'd like to extend my welcome to the members of our Board of Trustees and University governance, to the students, faculty, and staff, to colleagues from higher education, to our political, public service, and religious and business leaders from around the state and the Columbus community, and our friends and alumni here from all over the country. Thank you all for what you do for The Ohio State University. Allow me also to welcome and acknowledge several members of my family who are with us here today. First, my wife, Brenda. A great many of you have had a chance to meet. Brenda's mother, our two sons, our granddaughters, one of our daughters-in-law, Uncle Kenny and Aunt Debbie, and from Canada, our grandparents-in-law, if there is such a thing. I don't know what you call that. They are co-grandparents, Jeff and Estelle. They're from that country up north. I'll say if you were from that state up north, I wouldn't acknowledge you, so I'm glad you're in the right place. Let me say it is a tremendous honor to be here with 4 generations of my family and to follow in the footsteps of the 14 previous presidents of this great university. I'm indebted to those who served before me, some of whom I know personally and have had the great good fortune to work with, and to so many others who have supported this university throughout its 145 years. Thank you all. The story of this university has been written by the hands, hearts, and minds of countless individuals. And together you have built an institution for the ages. We are engaged collectively in a noble quest to do good. I hold a position of great privilege, and I reflect on that every day. Thank you for the opportunity to do this and to work with you in this grand endeavor. Contemplating the responsibility of leading The Ohio State University into the future, I begin by acknowledging our past. Our university arose in the wake of opportunity created by the Morrill Land Grant Act of 1862, signed by President Abraham Lincoln in the depth of the Civil War, and founded on the principle that education transforms lives. We were established with that purpose, immortalized by the words of early board member Joseph Sullivan in describing the university's seal, in which he said, "Above and crowning all, we place the lamp of knowledge by which we intend to signify that the Ohio State Agricultural and Mechanical College is a light on a high place to illuminate all that comes within its sphere." The noble American experiment of the land-grant universities was extraordinarily successful, and by the middle of the 20th century, the United States held an exalted position at the top of the world in the field of higher education. Our public universities became tireless research engines for the state and the nation, expanding the boundaries of discovery from the atom to the stars. And today, the need for higher education is even more critical than ever. We know that a college degree remains a singular factor in upward mobility. And as we approach our university's 150th anniversary just 5 years hence, we must re-envision our land-grant role in the modern light of the 21st century. The university must continue to be a beacon that illuminates the clearest path to the American dream. And it must continue to do so while maintaining the access, affordability, and excellence that have defined our finest public institutions since their inception. We must become a university that exemplifies inclusive excellence, a concept that builds directly on our founding fathers' land-grant purpose to extend higher education broadly to the sons and daughters of Ohio and beyond. This principle has defined my career and will continue to guide my vision for the next chapter of this university, which we will write together. 20 years ago, I met baseball great Willie Mays, a childhood idol of mine. I asked how he felt after making the catch during the 1954 World Series. Apologize to Cleveland fans. But he answered matter-of-factly, "It was a good play, and my job was to come out the next day and show the people something a little bit better." And what that meant to me was that even if you're the best in the world, your job tomorrow is to come out and do something a little bit better. That's how you stay the best in the world. In fact, that's how you got to be the best in the world at the first place. Ohio State is among the most powerful and dynamic universities in the world, there is no doubt. And as Ohio's flagship university, Ohio State must continue to lead from the front. As we face the second half of this decade, a series of challenges loom before us. We must use our unique scale and scope to meet these challenges head-on, charting new territory and making lasting contributions as we address the critical issues of our time. Today, I'll focus on three areas that underscore our overarching mission. I offer these directions in parallel to our daily scholarly work, not as a replacement. If we make measurable progress in these areas, we will set the standard for what it means to be an affordable, excellent, diverse, and engaged land-grant university in the 21st century. First, we must work to reduce student debt. Education transforms lives, but only if we can deliver on our promise of access to an excellent and affordable education. Second, we must recommit our university to its motto of education for citizenship, engaging with our community partners to extend our scholarship with the full force and precision of one of the most powerful institutions in the world. And third, we must lead our colleagues in exemplifying what it means to be an inclusive university in the 21st century, a place where diversity is a defining characteristic and source of strength. I'll begin with what is a critical issue on the higher education landscape, the challenge to provide access to a world-class college education that remains affordable. So many around Ohio and across the country, including many in this room, are working to solve this elusive equation today. And on this issue, I want to speak directly to our students and their families. In terms of cost and quality, Ohio State remains one of the best values in the nation. We're ranked the 15th best value among public universities, up from 36 just 2 years ago. This is good news, but it's not enough. Despite the long-term value of a degree, we must be sensitive to the debt burden associated with a college education, especially for low and middle-income families. Students crossing the Oval with book bags filled with knowledge and promise should not be burdened with the weight of worry about how to pay for college. Governor Kasich announced in February the creation of a Blue Ribbon Task Force on affordability, and we will seize this opportunity to advance bold ideas to work harder and smarter to contain costs. Strategies such as better utilizing information and educational technology and implementing targeted constructive advising so that more students graduate on time. We look forward to working with our partners to lead in this critical effort. In fact, we've already begun. On a national level, Ohio State is a charter participant in the University Innovation Alliance of 11 universities, working collectively on affordability and access. We specifically are looking at ways to use data analytics and predictive analytics to increase graduation rates and decrease time to degree, while maintaining or enhancing quality. I've had direct experience with programs like this earlier in my career, and we were rewarded with outstanding results. That was on a more limited scale. Of course, everything's on a more limited scale than the Ohio State University. So now our challenge is to scale up and show others and ourselves that we can do this more broadly. The first phase of this program is underway, and we will evaluate the findings and implement continually refined solutions in the coming years. This will help us with the efficiency of our educational process, but we must do more. We must refine and modernize the way that we do business. To that end, I have directed my senior leadership team to submit plans to identify $200 million in administrative savings and efficiencies over the next 5 years, and to generate $200 million more in revenue generation over the next 5 years. These resources will be reinvested to lower the cost and improve the quality of the university. Our confidence that we can do this comes in part from the preliminary success that we have already had this year alone at our academic medical center. We have, through efficiency and cost avoidance, saved more than $50 million in the past 9 months alone. We have done this by doing everything from reducing the use of color printing, to scrutinizing human resources decisions, to negotiating better terms from vendors. And at the same time, our quality, safety, and patient satisfaction numbers are outstanding, in several cases among the highest anywhere in the country. Kudos and thanks to so many who work so hard to make this true: our hospital leadership, our doctors, research scientists, our nurses, custodians, and the entire crew. You're doing work that directly affects and improves the lives of thousands of individuals here and around the world. Our goal now is to realize similar savings and efficiencies throughout our university. Additional resources from efficiency savings and revenue generation will enable us to reinvest in 3 core areas: First, financial aid and scholarships to reduce student debt. Second, to support our faculty and staff and our academic programs. And third, we will retain some funds to support the best new ideas and innovations for the future. The first targeted use of these savings will be an immediate increase to the scholarship pool, particularly for lower and middle income students, by a minimum of $15 million in the 2015-2016 academic year. We will sustain this level at a minimum for at least 5 years thereafter, but we'd like it to increase, and our goal will be to increase scholarships by at least $100 million by the year 2020. We will begin these measures immediately, not at the expense of the academic experience, but by investing savings achieved by operating the university more efficiently. We will also continue a robust program of merit-based aid for exceptionally talented students, and we are committed to working with the governor and our legislative leaders to keep our tuition among the most affordable in the nation. In partnership with our Board of Trustees, we are looking carefully at executive compensation, and our work continues on overall compensation and classification. Together, these are intended to create consistency and equity in our human resource policies. We recognize that we must balance the competitive salaries needed to attract exceptional faculty and staff with our commitment to be responsible stewards of our resources. Educational excellence is a critical variable of the equation and contributes directly to access and affordability. A more efficient educational system leads to higher graduation rates and a shorter time to degree. To this end, we are convening a faculty summit this May to continue our nascent discussions of ways that we can improve upon our already excellent educational offerings and pedagogy. The first part of these efforts is a creation of a university-wide institute on teaching and learning that will support both tenured and non-tenured faculty. A collaboration between faculty and staff and students across the university, this campus-wide institute will enhance support for excellent teaching, expand teaching and learning scholarship, and apply student-centered analytics to improve learning outcomes. I've spoken earlier about our incredible impact as a university, and we are forging the future of innovation through our discovery themes, the university's bold vision to extend our reach on a global scale. We have built a powerful academic research machine that is pushing discovery in areas from memory to dark matter, from hybrid electric drivetrains and climate history. And we make significant contributions in law and policy and science and the arts, humanities, the health sciences and agriculture, and across the length and breadth of hundreds of fields of inquiry and more than 175 major courses of study. We want to provide an environment that supports and inspires our faculty through their most creative and productive accomplishments. And this gives me an opportunity to reaffirm our belief in the bedrock principle that the traditional scholarly and artistic intellectual endeavors of our faculty, produced by our faculty, belong to our faculty. Our ability to provide affordable excellence is a fundamental to those who we are seeking to serve as a land-grant university in the 21st century. And we must ensure that the door to the American dream is open and leads our students to brighter futures. The second area I'll address is our founding land-grant mission to create and extend new knowledge to our community. This commitment constitutes the DNA of the university's motto, Education for Citizenship. The university's relationship with the Ohio business community has never been stronger. And we are committed fully to supporting our outstanding partnerships to create an ever more vibrant statewide economy. The Wexler Medical Center provides more than $170 million in annual benefits through charity care and outreach efforts such as neighborhood-free clinics, free health screenings, prenatal education, and myriad community sponsorships. OSU Extension shares academic scholarship with citizens in all 88 Ohio counties. And Ohio State has been recognized nationally as an engaged university, including more than 1.2 million hours of service each year by our students. These are just a few of the extraordinary ways that we are making a difference. But these efforts, but despite these efforts, at this moment, just blocks away from where we are, children may not know where they're getting their next meal. This is unacceptable. We have a significant work being done in our community and at Ohio State to address food insecurity, but we can do more. After substantial planning, the university is making an unprecedented strategic and financial commitment to address food insecurity with an investment of nearly $15 million in new faculty experts as a part of the Discovery Themes initiative. Combined with more than 50 faculty at Ohio State who work on food security issues, we will, over the next decade, commit nearly $100 million to this grand challenge. These efforts are already underway. Beyond the financial support, we must bring to bear the overwhelming energy and talents of our faculty, staff, and students to address this issue. We must work closely with our community and state partners, refining collective strategies to elevate all members of our society. And at the end of the day, all of us share a responsibility in the future of Ohio and the lives of our fellow citizens. Many of us had a wonderful time in New Orleans and in Dallas in January, even before the terrific football victories. We went into the local communities and, honoring a tradition begun decades ago at Ohio State, engaged in service projects to reduce food insecurity. In both cities, students, faculty, staff, alumni, parents, and friends came together to pay forward for the collective goodwill. In the coming months, we will again call upon the powerful support of Buckeye Nation, our passionate alumni and friends around the globe, to help in these efforts. And together, we can make Ohio shine as an exemplar of how systematically and strategically we can solve one of the critical issues of our time. Plain and simple, our collective efforts can and will transform lives. The third and final component of this 2020 vision is that as one of the nation's leading land-grant universities, the Ohio State University must be a national model of inclusiveness and diversity. From our student community to the hiring and promotion of faculty and staff, diversity must be recognized and celebrated as a defining core strength. The nation's land-grant institutions were founded upon profound public ideals. Foremost among them was to extend higher education to everyone, regardless of social standing. As a starting point for an institution, those principles are among the noblest I can imagine. By many measures, Ohio State is a vibrant and diverse community as we speak, and we have long added our voices to the chorus of others from all corners of the country and walks of life who aspire to be a more inclusive and perfect society. Still, with the 50th anniversaries of the Civil Rights and Voting Rights Act as a backdrop, it is deeply troubling to see recent examples of racial and other forms of discord and intolerance across our country and even on some of our college campuses. To be honest, many of us had hoped that these things were behind us. They certainly and distinctly are beneath us as a society. Our universities of all places must welcome and celebrate all individuals, regardless of race, class, culture, orientation, or identity. You can pause that for a moment. I don't usually applaud myself, so forgive me. I got a little up in the moment. As a first step toward greater inclusion, I have realigned our Office of Diversity and Inclusion with the Kirwan Institute for the Study of Race and Ethnicity. We have a number of successful programs and initiatives around diversity at the university: the Bell National Resource Center, our Multicultural Center, and Laser Program for Latino students, and we will amplify our efforts by working in greater coordination. Second, we are re-energizing our faculty hiring practices by developing university-wide diversity training for search committees. And third, I have charged a coalition of individuals from across the university to look broadly at diversity issues that affect students, faculty, and staff, and develop meaningful recommendations about how we can become a model of inclusive excellence. I look forward to their report and recommendations. The Ohio State University must be a leading light along the long arc toward a greater inclusion, justice, and understanding for all of our brothers and sisters. We have many areas in the world in which we aspire to be world-class. Let diversity and inclusion, writ broadly, be an area of great success and achievement for us. There is nothing between us and being the best in the world in this endeavor but our own thoughts and actions. And finally, as we embark on our mission, we must remain true to values-driven decision-making. Over the course of my life, I have developed a set of core values tested daily in my personal and professional lives. Tim actually mentioned some of them. Thank you, Tim. They must be coming through. They are respect, intellectual curiosity, integrity, commitment, empathy, appreciation for others, and fun. Respect meaning respect for ourselves and others. Intellectual curiosity, the excitement at learning and teaching and discovering. Commitment, doing your best as often as you can in whatever you do. Integrity, meaning what you say and saying what you mean, speaking and seeking the truth. Empathy, compassion for others. Appreciation for others, the understanding that life circumstances allow other people to have points of view that are different from ours, but valid nonetheless. And finally, fun. This is it. We should do all we can to enjoy every day. And I have found that if you stay true to your values, then the path forward will be clear, if not easy. And in the end, you'll be in the right place. Since Brenda and I arrived in Columbus last summer, we have had innumerable opportunities to see firsthand what it means to be a Buckeye. It's our students who danced through the night at Buckeyethon to raise $1.2 million to treat childhood diseases. It's the more than 23,000 staff who contribute their talents and energy to support our faculty and students every day on our 6 campuses. It's our faculty who develop and share knowledge and enrich and elevate society. It's the thousands of Pelotonia riders and supporters who believe that we will end cancer in our lifetimes. It's the people we have met all over the world who are enriching their communities after their lives were enriched by an education at The Ohio State University. It's our 2014 National Championship football team that pressed through adversity to exemplify that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And I couldn't be prouder than to share that this month alone, our pistol, wrestling, and synchronized swimming teams have all become national champions. I guess with those 3 champions, you shouldn't mess with us on land or on sea. And let me say, it was the wrestling team's first national title in 94 years. It was our synchronized swimming team's 29th national title. Yeah, I think that leads all sports at all universities in the nation. It deserves a round of applause. When we speak to what we do at the university, we say that we create and share knowledge to the benefit of humankind. When asked how, we describe our active research, modern teaching, and broad community service. When asked why, I have 2 answers. First is our unwavering commitment to elevate society and the human condition, the founding principle of the land-grant university. And the second, for me personally, is joy. The joy that I have, and I know this is true for Brenda and for all of you as well. The joy that we have working with the incredible young men and women that we have as students. I'm impressed by their brilliance, their focus, their achievements, and their overall goodness. They give me confidence that the future will be in good hands and inspire me daily to do whatever I can to enhance their paths forward. I was asked last week by a student, what would I like to see our university be as the years roll on? And her question recalled for me a poem by Rabindranath Tagore. This was written more than a century ago, at a time he lived in colonial India, and the poem was written as a hopeful prayer. He wrote in part, "Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms toward perfection, where the mind is led forward into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, let me awake." Much of what Tagore wished for exists here and now at our great university. Our current aspiration is to widen the sphere of our impact, to be inclusive and expansive and excellent as we move forward toward a bright and more perfect horizon. Together, let us continue to shine the light of knowledge in all directions, Let us sing Ohio's praise, and let us affirm thy friendship to the Ohio State University. Thank you very much.